Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video I'm going to talk about managed WordPress hosting versus shared hosting. So we are going to in this video understand more about what managed WordPress hosting is all about, and as well as understand what shared hosting is all about, so that when you go out to any hosting provider to pick up your hosting plan, then you'll be able to know the one you can go for, either the managed WordPress hosting or for the shared hosting. So this video is going to help you to get an idea of how all this hosting works, as well as you'll be able to know much deeper things about these hosting plans they have on their platforms. So if this is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, I recommend you subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And if this video is not okay for you, you can probably give me a dislike, and so I'll be able to know how well my video is doing on the internet, so on YouTube actually. So now let's get right into the video and look at the managed WordPress hosting and shared hosting. So for this video, I'm going to use a web hosting platform called Namecheap to show you about this managed WordPress hosting as well as the shared hosting. So no matter the hosting provider or platform you go to, no matter anyone you can choose, with the idea I'm going to show you here, you'll be able to understand the right hosting plan to pick up for your business. So let's get right into the video. Now, starting with, we are going to consider, based on these things, we are going to consider the cost, we are going to consider the ease of use, we are going to consider, the security, the performance, and the rest of that. So that's one of the things, or that's the things that we are going to consider based on this managed WordPress hosting and as well as the shared hosting. So to start with, let me first explain what it is. So when you come over to this Namecheap here, so when we come over to this namecheap.com, if you can go over to namecheap.com, you can use the link in the description of this video to be able to get to this website. Now, Namecheap is one of the websites that you can get your cheap domain names. Like, I do not say in one of the best WordPress websites, rather I said one of the websites you can get the best cheap domain name. So when you come to this namecheap.com here, so let's go over to this hosting area. You are going to see the shared hosting. So, and if you look up here, you're also going to see the WordPress. So if you go down here, you see the managed WordPress hosting. So let me open this in a new tab, and you will see hosting here. We have the shared hosting first. So let me click on this shared hosting for this area here. So we'll look at the shared hosting and compare it with the managed WordPress hosting. Now, for the shared hosting, let me with the help of these plans help you understand what it is all about. Now, if you come down to this shared hosting on this Namecheap website, you see that you have the first one to be Stellar, and the Stellar, based on the cost, we have Stellar to be $1.48 per month, which means they are charging for $1.48 per month. That's for the Stellar shared hosting, $1.48 per month. So, but if you go over to here, like I said, we will first of all consider them. We'll compare them based on the price, we'll compare them based on their performance, the ease of use, and the rest of that. Now, when it comes to shared hosting, initially what shared hosting means is it's a situation whereby you share your server, like you are sharing your server with other people. You can it's just like I have a lot of websites, or or I want to create websites. I can decide, okay, let me create this website, which is, let's say, let me create a blog website, let me create an e-commerce website, let me create another sort of website. Now, these are like 3 websites. Now, it can be only you to share, this yourself among these 3 websites, or you can equally say, okay, we can come together. Let's say you are a group, you can just come together and say, let's buy shared hosting plans. What it will do is that what you have to bear in mind about the shared hosting is, just as the name is shared, it means that I'm sharing part of this server, this person is sharing the part of this server, another person is sharing parts of that server. I don't know if you understand that. So now if you come down here, you see the stellar plan. The stellar plan here will have it to be 1.48 per month as the cost. And if you go down here, you're going to see something. It says it to give you free domain for the first year. If you go ahead and read this, to give you free domain, and the domain extensions are listed here: .fun, .host, .online, .site, .store, and the rest of that. Now if you come down here, which means you're only going to have 3 websites. As you can see here, you're only going to have 3 websites for this stellar shared hosting. Like I explained, shared hosting is all about, having about, just like it says here, 3 websites, which means only 3 websites can be attached to this stellar shared hosting server. Only 3 websites will be attached to there, and you will given 20 gigabytes of storage. Now this 20 gigabytes means the storage, which means the files that will be stored on that server. So it will only the server can only take about 20 gigabytes, which means this is to say that to share, if you share this, if you share the server hosting space, if you share it by, let's say, 3 websites, that's to say you'll be having, each website will be having about 6.67 gigabytes. That's what each website will be having, 6.67 gigabytes. Now, and we don't have this 30 domain based mailboxes, which is all about the mailbox you can get. Now if you are a tech individual, you'll be able to understand about this mailboxes in here. So if you don't want to, let's say you want to upgrade it and you want to have unlimited website, that means you have to go with this popular one. This is the Stellar Plus. Now the Stellar Plus gives you the chance to have about unlimited website, which means any form, like any number of websites can be attached to this server. Any number of websites, unlimited, just as you are seeing there on this screen here, which is 2.38. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'll compare this Stellar Plus with the managed hosting. So to start with, we are going with the cost. So we have 2.38. Now I've explained what shared hosting is. Now go over to WordPress. What we are going to know, or what you need to know about this managed WordPress hosting, is that it's all about having your website only for WordPress, like only on WordPress. You wouldn't have let's say you develop your website using another programming language or the rest of that, and once you buy this plan, which is the WordPress hosting, you cannot be able to use any other thing, or an exception of WordPress. But the shared hosting, you can use anything you want at all. You can use anything, like as in you can use any programming language to program your website. You can use Joomla if it's a CMS platform you want to use. You can use Python to do it and then upload it to the server, which is the Stellar Plus server that we are going to use. So you can use anyone at all you have in mind, any programming language you have in mind. But when it comes to this managed WordPress hosting, you only have to use the WordPress, the WordPress software to be able to create, or the WordPress CMS platform to be able to create your website. So for the costing, we have this one to be around $17.11, which is what it will charge you for you to be able to create a WP website that represents WordPress. So Easy WordPress, which is me, is going to charge you for 17.11. Now this means that you're only going to get this function and at this particular price. But let me go ahead to explain to you more of the things you need to understand. Like here we have 2.38, while here we have 17.17. Now, but there are most certain things you have to understand. Like I already said earlier on, that when we talk about the managed WordPress hosting, it means that you're using a managed, like WordPress that is being managed by you. You don't have any other thing except WordPress. But there are many features you also need to understand about that WordPress, because when it comes to this shared hosting, there are some down times that you experience. For instance, having these websites trying to occupy more space more than this other website and the rest of that. So here, the Stellar Plus, you will have a domain name that will be given to you. When you check, you see the extensions of the domain names here. You will see the dots, just a similar thing you have for the Stellar, but just an addition will be added there. Then you have unlimited websites, you have unlimited SSD, you have unlimited domain-based mailboxes, and auto backup, which means your website will be backed up on most basis. Now this is for the shared hosting. Now if we go over to the managed hosting, just like I said earlier on, there are many features. You have to take note of the fact that there are many features that were not shown or by name chip on this, Stellar Plus hosting. For instance, if we go over to this managed WordPress hosting, you'll be able to see, okay, this is the SSD storage they're giving, which means you will have, just for this WordPress website, which is one WordPress website, you are going to have about 10 gigabytes of storage. So only remember, when we checked for the shared hosting, we're able to get the actual, that we are going to have 6.67 for each of the websites, which is 6.67. But when it comes to WordPress hosting here, you have, just for that website, you have 10 gigabytes of SSD storage. You have about 10 gigabytes of it. So now if you come down here, let me go over here. So see most of the things that it has, most of the services it has. So now if we come down here and we check, you see WordPress size it will accept is 1. The monthly visits is 50k. Unlike the shared hosting here cannot take this shared hosting here. For the fact that it's not being shown here, this is a hidden feature, which is the reason why I don't really recommend Namecheap, because they are not transparent, on showing you most of the things you need to know before you get into choosing their platform, for your hosting platform. I don't really recommend it. So if you want to know the website platforms I recommend, then check out my video that you see on your screen now, where I'm showing you the best WordPress and also best web hosting providers that you can use on the internet. Check them as they should be transparent enough to show you most of the details that you need to know about, what they offer, because here, as you can see from here, this place is showing us monthly visits of 50,000. And here is showing us nothing about that. But from my experiences about shared hosting, while I've used shared hosting in the past, you'll be able to understand that shared hosting, at most of them just give you like 10,000 monthly visits. Now let me explain what these visits means. This means that in a month, about 50,000 people can come up on your website. Now it can be, no matter the number of people that comes on the WordPress, this managed WordPress hosting, no matter the number of people, once it does not exceed 50,000, this means that the server or this WordPress hosting server can be able to handle this kind of monthly visits. Well, but that does not mean that if this 50,000 should come on it on a particular day, it might break. The website might break. That does not mean that it will not break. No, if they should come on it on a particular, let's say on a day, it might break. So that's the reason why you are seeing monthly visits, which means like accumulated number of people that comes on that website will not exceed 50,000 people, as you can see there. So it's guaranteeing you 99.9%, but I don't actually think this Namecheap gives you this option of 99.9% uptime. Yes, I've already tested their server and I know how many uptime. You have many downtimes, like you have many. What we mean by this uptime is the time that your WordPress will be on the server will be live. But in most cases, this 99.9 they offer is not what is being seen. So for the managed WordPress hosting, and as well as here, if you come over here, you will not be able to see anything like this to show you that if you're trying to choose a shared, or if you're trying to compare between shared hosting and managed hosting, it depends on the kind of business you want to go into. Because if I am the type that wants to go into a business that needs I need my website to be on the internet most of the time, I think I'll equally go with this managed WordPress hosting plans, because at least I'm seeing a lot of things, or I'm seeing it's transparent enough more than the shared hosting here, which is not showing you actually most of the things that you need to know. Like for instance, if we come down here, we've come down here to know about most of the things they are talking about. You see, the uptime they are talking about here is 100%, which is not visible, which is not true. Like I told you here, from the managed WordPress hosting, which is not true. Here, this is not possible. So this uptime here, which is this not, I've already tested this thing out here. So it's not possible to have this kind of uptime. No, there are many downtimes with Namecheap. So now but about the hosted domains, you will see about this is showing us unlimited already. We've seen that part domains you will unlimited, the subdomains is also unlimited, the backup is twice a week. Okay, now that's that for the managed hosting. Now this is for this is for shared, and this is for the managed hosting. The next thing you need to consider is the free migration. Okay, you have free migration, you can use any domain name, Unraveled, Couch plugin, and the rest of that. Everything is just concentrated on, like I said earlier, on it's concentrated on WordPress. So that's the first thing we need to look at. We've looked at the cost. Now the next thing we need to look at is the ease of use, just like I tried to show you, or I've talked about this, which is the ease of use. And this ease of use is all about the transparency, which I've been talking about, because if you go over here, it's saying it's giving you 99.9%, but over here it's not actually giving you. So when you want to consider going for either managed WordPress hosting or shared hosting, one thing you have to bear in mind is that because it is shared, you just have to bear it in mind that you all might not use the same space. Like if I come over here, when we talk of ease of use, you understand, if you come over to this shared hosting plan on Namecheap, as I'm using Namecheap as a case study here, if you come over here, you will discover that the space that is being given, the disk space here is on meter, which means that no specific space that is given. But this is not actually a real fat here. Like that is why if you go over here, you're going to see from the Stellar Business, you still see 50 gigabytes of space. So which is to tell you that this thing you're seeing here is not actually a right figure. So you're having 50 gigabytes, while for WordPress it does not consider the gigabytes you are going to get. What it just considers is the monthly visit, because the number of people that will come up there to visit on monthly basis and as well as on daily basis. So if you're going with the tuber plan, which is $33, you're going to have about 200,000 visits. While if you're going for the Stellar, you're going to have about 4.98 per month. Now when it comes to how many number of people that will come up here, as you can see, this website does not show us that. So that is why I wouldn't really recommend them to, if you're trying to choose either manage WordPress hosting as well as a shared hosting. You can go ahead and check out my review about hosting guide in the description below, and that's one of the ones I recommend about their shared hosting and their managed WordPress hosting. But this video is to help you elaborate or to explain to you about shared hosting and managed WordPress hosting. When it comes to security, you discover that managed WordPress hosting is more secure. Yes, it remains more secure than when it comes to shared hosting. This managed web, because it only concentrates on WordPress, so their security is top notch when you compare it with shared hosting. Also for the performance, the managed WordPress hosting loads faster. It loads faster than the shared hosting, that is shared hosting I see here. So based on my experiments which I've done, especially with Namecheap, Hostinga, and Blue Hosting, you discover that even from Namecheap, that as you are seeing from Namecheap here, from Namecheap, you discover that the managed WordPress hosting is much more faster in performance when it's being compared to the Namecheap shared hosting. And this is not just on this Namecheap hosting as well, it's across every shared hosting and managed hosting you can say on the internet. This is just how it is, because like I said earlier, on managed WordPress hosting is concentrating only on WordPress, and the features there tends to be more okay than when it's being compared to shared hosting. So this is all about the managed WordPress hosting as well as the shared hosting. I hope you understand, or you are being cleared on what this tool is all about. So you have the right to make your choice, the one you can go with. And if you want me to help you make that choice, you can equally leave me a comment in the comment section below. So you just leave me a comment there and I'll help you to make the choice based on the business type you want to go into. Now, if you find this video helpful, just give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, also give it a dislike. And as well as if this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, I think you can give me that subscribe, hit that subscribe, turn on that bell notification on and hit the subscribe button there. So also if you would like to know more about the web hosting platforms, then I recommend you check out a video in the description below. A video have been tagged in the description below. That video will show you everything you need to know about WordPress, both WordPress, anything about web hosting, and as well I go in depth to describe and explain to you guys what it's all about, so you'll be able to understand whatever feature you are seeing, like all these things, these features, what it means. So that video is something that will explain that to you. And as well, you see a video that is going to show you the best web hosting platforms that you can use as of now. So see you in the next video.